Hello, Mr. X's students and my students. We're here to talk about the word statistic today. Statistic is a noun, and we have two meanings on the card. So when is a statistic? Is a piece of information shown in numbers. I put or a number because you can have one statistic that's only one number. If you say numbers, it's like that's what's on your card, but that implies that you can't have only one, but you can have one. You can have one number. That number is called a statistic, even if you just have one number. So that's why I think it's good to add or a number. A number or numbers is better than your definition that you have right now. But it's information shown in numbers. So what does that mean? It means like you don't just have a number. You know, like if we said the number 10 by itself doesn't mean anything. But if you count something that exists in the world, you could say there are an average of 10 chairs per table in this room, then that's a statistic because it measures something that's in the world that's real. That's what a statistic is. It's a number that measures something. So measuring anything. So like the population of San Jose is just over 1 million. That's a statistic because that number, I don't know exactly 1 million. You see it when you drive into San Jose. You know, at the city limits, they have a sign that tells you the number of people from the last census. That's not just a number, it's a number that reflects a true thing in the world, which is information about how many people are in San Jose. Statistics are measuring, it's information, meaning measuring something, not just the number by itself, but measuring something. So I have a sentence about that. My first sentence is for definition 1. Weather statistics include average high temperature, average low temperature, and precipitation. Those are different things you can measure about the weather. They all will give you numbers. Those numbers all show something about the world. So people they keep those statistics for every place that has a weather station will have those statistics, you know, for each month of the year and for the whole year. Okay, definition 2, statistics with an S. That's always with an S, that one. Never without an S, plural. Is the science of collecting and analyzing information shown in numbers. So basically you have all these numbers. What do you do with them? You study them, you find out the average, you find out, a big one is you find out if one causes something else or not. And if you remember from when we did fallacies in quarter 2, we talk about the correlation. Correlation does not mean causation fallacy. It's all about that. It's about, you got a bunch of numbers, but like remember there was an example of it's hot in the summer, and well, no, it was forest fires and ice cream. So they say the amount of ice cream that gets sold goes up in the summer, and the number of forest fires, incendios, also goes up. So you put that together, that means that ice cream causes forest fires, people say. Not true, right? Really, it's because both of them are caused by the hot weather. So statistics is studying things like that. What causes what? How can we prove that a certain number is related to another number or not? Like you measure a bunch of stuff, and so it gets very complicated, and it's very important really because you get to things like global warming. You know, what causes it? Is it caused by people? Can we do anything about it? How can we know that stuff? We have to measure things in the world like weather, and then we track it over time, and then we have to prove. You prove using statistics. You know, is it caused by people or by something else? So statistics is very important for all those sorts of things. Lots of political decisions. Science is all about statistics. If you want to show that, you know, when you get down to it in science, it's like you want to prove that one thing is happening, something is happening for a certain reason. How can you prove that? You have to get a bunch of numbers, and then you use statistic techniques, which you learn in statistics class, to figure out how to prove whether, you know, those two things are related to each other or not, whether they're really causing each other or not. So it's actually an interesting thing about, I mean, if you study science, you'll learn a lot about statistics. In Spanish, statistics, estadísticas. Some word families. A statistician is a noun. I forgot to write the parts of speech on the board today, but you have them on your card. Statistician is a noun. It's a person who studies statistics, like definition 2. So it's like a mathematician, a person whose job is to do math and to study statistics. Statistical If you've seen AL before, you probably know that. AL is an adjective, so it means in a way that is related to statistics. So you can talk about the statistical, something like the statistical probability. How likely, how probable, qué tan probable is something, using like statistical. So you use statistics to estimate whether something will happen or not. You can talk about statistical probability, for example. Statistical, so it's describing a noun and saying that it somehow has to do with statistics. Statistically, ly is a giveaway for an adverb. In this case, it's an adverb. In a way that is related to statistics. Something happens in a way that is related to statistics. All right, finally, we have our sentence over here, which is related to English. One type of evidence you may use in a persuasive essay. So that's where you guys should have heard this before, every year during quarter 2, right? One type of evidence. We learn about types of evidence every year. One type of evidence you may use in a persuasive essay is a statistic, because you can use a statistic to show that something is happening. Right? So if you're arguing that, I don't know, capital punishment works or does not work, right? Either way. Capital punishment means should we execute murderers? That's a very controversial issue. So you can look at statistics. In states that do execute murderers versus states that do not execute murderers, does the number of murders change? If it does, you can say, well, it's because, they're scared. In the states that they have capital punishment, they stop and they don't commit their crime. That's called the deterrent theory of crime, of punishment, I mean. So we do that. How do we know that? Based on statistics, based on evidence, numbers that prove what's going on. That's about it for today. Thank you for watching.